Welcome to the 2.0 Grandma Podcast, a space created by a grandma for grandmas and all about grandmas. Our mission is clear: to empower and support grandmas as they redefine, realign, and redesign their lives.
Ladies, I have the pleasure of this phenomenal guest who I have not met, but you know how these days we meet people online, right?
Right.
We hear about them, we read their stories, and we feel like we know them. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Nakoley.
Yes.
Wow,
It's Nakoley.
Renville. Say it again for me.
Nakoley Renville.
Nakoley Renville. And I love it.
Yes.
The name sounds movie starish, I want you to know.
Oh, well,
Right?
thank you. Well, it's actually a Ghanaian name. My father's from West
Really?
Africa.
Oh,
Yes, he's from
wow.
Ghana. So Nakoley means first daughter.
Oh, how beautiful. And I've
Yeah.
known one other person with that name. Now, I can't remember if she pronounced it that same way. I used to work with her. Beautiful, beautiful girl. I love the beautiful, beautiful spirit.
Okay.
And I don't know if I can't remember if it was pronounced the same way or
Well,
slightly different.
the African version would be Nakole.
Oh,
That's how they
Nakole.
would say Nakole. Like they draw
Nakole.
out the A.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. 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 Well, that is beautiful regardless. It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
And so I want to hear all about Nakoley and what she's been doing. And I want to hear, I always like to title the podcast episode so I can
Okay.
just tell the distinct difference between them. Because, when you number them, you don't know now who was the guest, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So I call yours chapter 2 is creative, honey.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes. So I believe in this 2.0 version of things. So I'm in my 2.0 life, right? My
Okay.
1.0 life was with my children, taking care of my children and family.
Mhm.
So now I'm a grandma, but now I have the pleasure of just taking care of me. And I love it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
And I thought everybody was like, oh, wait a
What?
minute, isn't that selfish? I said, no, it's called self-care, honey. Because guess what? Before we put their everything before us, their
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
they're making sure they got this, making sure they got what they needed to do,
Mhm.
making sure we support them. Now it is my turn
Yes.
to do
Yes.
me. So
Yes.
I call it my 2.0 version. So I'm
Yes.
always on the outlook and looking out for grandmas who are in their 2.0 version of their
And
life.
I'm definitely in my
Yes,
2.0
honey.
version.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about. I'm just so excited.
Yeah.
But before we jump into all of that, let's back up a little bit because I want the audience to know who is Nakoley Renville. And I'm just trying to say all kind of accents, French, just ignore me, okay?
No worries. No worries at all.
But tell us a little bit about you, and then I want to hear about the grandkids,
Yes.
and then we'll get into this 2.0 version of you. Okay.
Absolutely. Sounds good. As Dr. Marsha has said, my name is Nakoley Renville, and I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I was a teacher for many years, and then I decided to become a principal of an elementary school, a lovely elementary school in Brooklyn, and I absolutely loved what I did. I loved connecting with families and, of course, teachers and students. And I had the opportunity, and I retired actually 4 years ago. So I guess at that point, that's when I had to figure out what the 2.0 of myself is, right?
Right.
But getting back to myself, I've been married for 30 years to my phenomenal husband, Lawrence.
Oh, well, I love the smile when you talk about him. I love that.
And we have a son, Jordan, who is 22 years old. And he recently graduated from university. He graduated from USC. And he is my and our absolute heart.
Oh,
Um, He graduated in May, and now he is living on his own in LA.
Mm.
I always said from the time he was a little boy, I'm raising a man and not a boy. And
Mm.
so we made sure that we gave Jordan, his name is Jordan, the skills so that he can be an independent man for
Mm.
himself, being able to take care of himself.
I
After
love
all,
that.
he's the bloodline. He's one of the
Yes.
bloodlines of our family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my husband also has 4 children, right, from previous relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in that way, I am a grandma. I'm a proud
Mm-hmm.
grandma
Aw.
of
Huh.
7.
7. Oh, we
7.
got the same
Yes.
number. 7. 7
Yes,
over
that's right. The
here.
lucky
Yeah.
the lucky number.
Yes. Yes.
And my husband's from Guyana, so
Mm.
all of his children and his grandchildren live in Guyana, South America.
Oh, wow.
So I've had the pleasure of meeting 4 of them.
Uh-huh.
Um, Asia, who is 7, she's come to visit us every year since she's 4. This past summer, his daughter Rochelle, she has 3 children: Rashida, who's 18, um, Rawl, who's 11, and baby Rashad, who's 2. So we got a chance to spend time with them
Mm.
and just to shower them with all the love. Um, One of the things that I will say is we moved upstate to New York, upstate New York, in December. So it's very different living up here as opposed to living in the
Oh,
city in
yes.
Brooklyn,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So we bought this big old house, and Lawrence is very creative. He's also a photographer, and
Mm.
he landscaped the entire backyard. And I don't know if you could see behind me, we're like
Nice.
kind of in the woods
Oh, wow.
and
Yeah.
everything. That's our pool.
Nice.
So we intentionally bought a big house because we wanted to have space so that when our friends and family comes to visit, we have space and everyone could be comfortable. So
Mm.
I love doing that.
Mm.
Some of the things that I'm passionate about, I love to cook, I love to read, and I love to spend time with my family and my friends
Mm.
and my
Mm.
grandchildren.
Mm, nice. That sounds so beautiful. And I love that you guys did this and then created your own space. Environmental well-being is a thing,
Oh, yes,
and it is
100%.
important to our well-being, right?
Yeah,
The
yes.
whole of us, it really is. And I never really thought about that much until my grandma days, how important all these different
Mhm,
aspects of your life
mhm,
really are.
mhm.
Because when we are, now I know for me, and a lot of us do this, when we're raising our children, we're always so rushed.
Yeah,
Everything is hurry up and let's get this done. I got to work. I got to go to PTA meetings. I got to go pick people up from school.
yes.
I got to go pick people up after school curriculum,
Yep,
all kinds of stuff, right? And so we never really get the chance to really enjoy our
yeah,
environment because we're not in it very long,
yeah,
our
yeah.
house, whatever. And so, like now, in your chapter 2, you guys got this big space. You got some outdoor space. You say you like to be outside, and you've got things that will, that you will take you outside,
Oh,
right? Because you got
100%.
lots of space, and then when you have people over, that changes your dynamic. But you welcome that because it's not like that all the time. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It sounds fabulous.
Yes. And one of the things I'm going to make a little joke here is
Hmm.
for the first time, Lawrence and I, we've been married for 30 years. Jordan is 22. So for the first time in, say, 22, 23 years, it's just he and I,
Right.
right? And may I say, I am not the typical grandma. I'm not the grandma that's going to be wearing moo-moos and sitting in a rocking chair.
Hello. Yes, honey.
Not at all.
We are
So,
not doing that. Yeah.
oh no. All right. And so since we've been empty nesters, let's just say I have my boyfriend back. So if you know, you know.
Love you.
You have to enjoy life and all that it
Yes,
brings.
that's what it's all about.
Tomorrow's not promised.
Not at all. And you should have a good time all
Yeah.
of the time, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, life right now is so beautiful. And I say that to my kids, and they're like in the throes of parenthood, right? So
Yeah.
I kind of laugh at them because they said, "Oh my God, I can't believe so and so's got to do this." So and so. I said, "Oh," I said, "I do not miss those days." And I said with so much conviction, I do not miss those days. I said, "Girl, but just think about it. When you get on the other side, oh my God, it's a beautiful
Yes.
thing, right?"
And Dr. Marsha, think about it, right? We may not miss those days, but those days made us who we are
Of
to
course,
be
yes,
able to do what we do, what we're
yes,
doing right
yes,
now,
yes, yes,
right now.
yes.
And I guess for me, I've always been in the position, I'm always taking care of somebody, right? If it's not my child, my school community,
Yes.
my mom who has dementia for the past 3 years, I
Mm.
was, she's my absolute heart. I was her caregiver. My sister, she's now with my sister now, so I get to have a bit of a break. Yeah, a bit of a reprieve.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm able to fully live in my authentic self, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so I think sometimes you have to ask yourself, well, who am I really? Right? I'm not the doting mother anymore because I'm still a mom, but I don't have to take care of my son, right?
Mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm,
he's a young man now.
mm-hmm,
I'm a retired principal, right? That was a big part of my identity, right? Of course, I'm a wife.
mm-hmm.
I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a cousin, all those things. But who is Nakoley Renville? And I really had to be very intentional about sitting quiet with myself and figuring out who I am. And one of the things that I discovered, I love to read, right? And I belong to this book club. And right now, we're reading this book, How to Be the Love We Seek. You
Oh,
seek.
I love that. Who is that by? That's a must read. Who is that by?
Dr.
Let me write
Nicole,
that down, please. How
yes.
to love how to
How to
be
Be the Love You Seek. I know it's probably
love
in
you seek.
reverse by Dr. Nicole Pera.
Mm.
And so,
And spell her last name for me, Nicole.
sure, it's LE
Mm-hmm.
capital P
Mm-hmm.
ERA.
Okay, Lepera.
RA.
Lepera. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
And
Perfect.
so
Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're very welcome. And so, what's powerful about this is that I get to share with other women, right? So, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
just reading the book in isolation for myself. I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting to share my thoughts and ideas and vice versa. And one
Mm-hmm.
of the things that I've discovered is how important it is to really and truly love yourself.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
mean, if you ask people, I'm sure they would say, of course I love myself, right? But
Mm-hmm.
how
Mm-hmm.
many times throughout the day do you tell yourself, I love you? I
Ooh,
really,
ooh.
really love you. You deserve all, these are my affirmations that I've learned. You
Mm-hmm.
deserve all the love and all the abundance that's coming to you. You're worthy,
Yes. Ooh.
right? And,
Yes.
I know I wasn't in the habit of saying those things to myself, right?
Uh-huh.
But through
Uh-huh.
the book and sharing, big shout out to Jasmine. She is the book club creator
Oh.
and organizer.
Ooh.
Um, I really had to sit with myself. And at first, when I started doing those affirmations, telling myself how much I love myself, it was weird. It was
Yes,
strange
yes,
because, you're not used to, I'm used to saying that to other people, but I'm not used to saying it to myself,
yes,
right? And the
yes.
first few times I said it to myself, I got a bit teary and
Mm.
emotional about it because
Mhm.
it was like an awakening for me.
Yes, yes.
And so that's one of the things that I'm on a journey, to make sure that I'm intentional about that. Also, in my 2.0 era, just thinking about health, right? Health is wealth, right?
Yes.
If you're not healthy, it's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing.
I recently lost almost 60 pounds, right? I still have
How
some more
did
to
you do
lose.
that?
I did it over since COVID, right? So it
Wow.
wasn't something that I did
Like
quickly.
crash. Good,
No,
good, good,
no,
good, good.
no. It was
Excellent.
about just sort of making a lifestyle change,
Yes.
um, eliminating as much as I could sugar,
Uh-huh.
processed foods.
Uh-huh.
I still eat carbs, but not as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
And I move my body more,
Yes.
so I've been really passionate about I'm still a novice about doing my yoga at least 5 times a week, really getting into my mindfulness, which goes hand in hand with the book that I'm reading, the
Mm-hmm.
affirmations, being very mindful about what I put in my body, fruits and vegetables and proteins.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that I don't slip every now and again, or if I want
Mm-hmm.
to have a cookie, yeah, I'm gonna have that,
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
um, just being more mindful about
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel much better in my body, stretching my legs and my hips and my waist each day. It's really made a difference
Yes.
in how I feel about myself. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, hot damn girl. You
You're so funny. I love you. Oh, I think that's these people. Hold on one second
sure, sure.
about that. Sorry about that.
That's okay. No
Okay, yeah.
worries.
So I'm glad that I had the phone near me because I didn't want it to ring loud, of course, right?
Right.
And I did, yeah. So a lot going on here, but anyway, it is what it is.
Yes.
But so let me kind of make share some connecting points, right?
Sure.
Because my organization, Grandmas 2.0, we are all about grandmas. I always like to say we're fabulous, honey, because we are for grandmas, we are about grandmas, and we are by a grandma, right? So a grandma is
Yes.
the one leading the effort of all of this. And it's an idea that just, that kind of, kept going in my head, going around in my head for a while. And I finally did something about it, like right before COVID. And then when COVID hit, I'm like, this is the perfect time. Everybody's at home, people can sit down, they can pay
Yes.
attention. And so let's see if we can get a little traction going here. And I have grounded the work that I'm doing for grandmas in those different areas of wellness, those 8 dimensions of
Mhm.
wellness, right? And so
Okay.
when you talk about, like we talk about the environmental wellness, when you talk about, loving yourself, that emotional wellness, being well, and you can't love anybody else until you love yourself first.
That's
And I
right.
was reading this, well, actually, I was listening on YouTube, Louise Hay. I don't know if you've ever
Yes. I
I
know her.
absolutely, I don't know. I think I
Yes.
stumbled upon it. I don't know how I found out about it, but I did that same exercise where she had you look in the mirror and say this, and I was like, oh my God, this is weird. It felt good after a while doing that because what
Yes.
that helped me do was to put myself first.
Yes.
I'm first in the pecking order. Then other people come after that,
That's right.
right? But before that, I wasn't doing it. I wasn't doing it because I was a mom, juggling a career and
Yes.
parenthood and going to school all at the same time, doing all that craziness.
Hmm.
But now I can relax a little bit and I can really get to know myself, get to know what I really like and what I really want to do with my life.
Yes.
And you say, well, hey, you woman, you're over 50, you should know. Yeah, I thought I knew early what I wanted to do as far as a
Mhm.
career, you
Right.
know, but what I really want to do with my life, my passion, my purpose, I didn't know yet. And I'm
Yeah.
in the field, another connecting point for us, I'm in the field of education too.
Okay.
So I'm in early childhood. So I get
Okay.
the babies before they come to you at elementary school, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and so I was the director of the
Nice.
program, director of a Head Start program, nonprofit childcare, all those things. And now I'm a college professor teaching teachers to work with young children. And
Beautiful.
I absolutely love that. That's like my second love. My first
Yes.
love is fashion because I'm a fashionista, right? So I love that. So that's
I
first. And
dribble
then
and dab a little myself.
exactly right. So that first, and then after that, and then I kept saying, early in my career, can I make these two work? But I never did. I never did because people either wanted early childhood or either they wanted fashion. They didn't see how they connected, right?
Right.
So, and then another thing we have in common, I lived in Brooklyn,
Oh,
sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. No,
oh,
no, yeah, no, sixth, seventh grade, 2 years with my aunt and uncle, because I told you I'm from North Carolina, and
right.
I lived there for 2 years. And I used to live on Third Street near downtown. I remember going down to Fulton Street, which used to be the
Yes.
downtown
My
area.
grandparents that they have a house downtown Brooklyn in Fort
Hmm.
Greene. Hmm.
Okay, so I
I
remember
know Fulton
that.
Street. That's where all the shopping and
Ah,
Mays and all the
yes, yes, back in the
Corvettes
day. Yeah,
back in the day.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
A&S.
Yes. And so I loved it down there because I was a country girl and to come to New York was like, oh my God, like that, right?
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
enjoyed it and I went to Catholic school while I was there. Right. So
Okay.
it was an interesting time in my life. But like you say, all those things make us who we are and who we become later in life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting. So I just wanted to let you know those connecting points that we have.
It's so nice
Right?
that,
Yes, yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. And
And
I
who
love the
knows? We may even know some of the same people. Who
Yes, you
knows?
never know. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I love the fact that you are in a book club now because I've been thinking about doing that for Grandma's 2.0, starting a book
Oh,
club. So like the different groups. So now I have a couple of different groups, right?
okay.
That I'm not a part of, but other people are leading them, right?
Hmm.
And so one is in Charlotte and they do meetups. And I have been trying to encourage them to maybe start a book club. And I'm gonna suggest that book that they
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And it comes with a workbook as
Oh,
well.
nice.
Um,
Nice, nice, nice.
yeah, so
And
I
what
can
does
give you
all
all
that
that
cost? So I
information.
can give them kind of the workbook and the book. Is the workbook online?
Yes, I got them both on Amazon.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that would be really great for them to start with that book. And again, when this summer September, we did a Gorgeous Grandmas of Charlotte event.
Nice.
And with that, it was almost like a pageant, but not all the rules. You know how pageants are so,
Right.
and it wasn't like that. I wanted the ladies to enjoy it. I wanted them to get themselves all made up. We had a makeup artist and everything. I wanted them to get
Beautiful.
all dressed up and then walk out there and let people see them, talk about themselves.
Hmm.
We had a Q&A period where we asked questions of, well, who are you and what are you all about and how many grandchildren, those kind of things. Talk about
Yes.
that kind of thing. And then they came out twice, one time in an outfit casual and then the next time in an evening gown,
Hmm.
and then they got a chance to talk about themselves. And then we took pictures and everything. It was such a beautiful event.
I
And
bet
it
it
was
was.
just about honoring grandmas.
Yeah.
You had
Yeah.
to be a grandma to be. Now, you could be a step grandma, you could be a bonus
Still
grandma,
a
some
grandma.
people call it. You're still a grandma, right? And,
Yeah.
biological grandma, all those things. And then there was one lady who said, well, what did she say? Grandma. What did she say? I'm a bonus grandma. And I said, okay, it's like a bonus parent, right? So I said, okay, that works because the thing is, we just want to honor you because we know as women, we put everybody first. As
Yeah.
grandmas, we have a chance now to kind of get our life back, so to speak. And that's
Yes.
what I want them to understand, because people will, and I don't think this sometimes is not intentional, sometimes it is.
Hmm.
Family will take advantage of you at a certain stage in your life and want you to do everything for them. Oh, grandma, I need some money for this. Grandma,
Hmm.
can you do this? Grandma, can you take care of the kids while
Hmm.
I go out and have some good? Wait a minute now, who said I didn't want to go out and have some fun, right?
Right. Right. Exactly.
Okay, so we all live and let live. So that's
Yeah.
the kind of stuff that we're doing, right? And we're focusing on making sure people are well, taking care of yourself first, like you say, your physical health,
Yeah.
eating better,
Yes.
so all of that is so important. But yeah, so that's kind of things that we're doing. And we also did a fashion show where all the models were grandmas in the
Yeah.
fashion show, things like that that
I bet they were beautiful.
yes. And some of these women, oh my God. I was like, yes, honey. Yeah, I mean, blew me out of the water. Blew
Yeah.
me out of the
Yeah.
water and blew the audience out. The audience was like, wow.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
just goes to show you, like I would say, well, grandma's, oh, we still got it, girl. Right?
That's
We
right.
still got it, right?
That's right.
But it's a beautiful thing. It really is. It really is. So now, how did you get to do this? Or how did you even come up with this idea about the creative space?
So actually, I would say maybe about 5 years or 7 years before COVID, um,
Mhm.
my husband and I, we would drive upstate, just for long weekends and so forth and
Mhm.
so on. And we always stayed in an Airbnb.
I
And
love Airbnbs.
I got the idea. I remember saying to him, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but it was just an idea. Things start off as an idea. What if we bought our own house up here?
Uh-huh.
And this way, when we come upstate, we don't have to stay in Airbnb. We stay in our own house, right?
Uh-huh.
And get this, Lawrence, my husband's name is Lawrence, we can have our own Airbnb, right?
Yes.
And my husband is the kind of man, he's always supported me,
Oh,
always.
nice.
From when I was a teacher, a principal, he always had my back. And so he was like, yeah, let's do it. I didn't know where I was getting the money, how it was going to be, or anything like that. But you have to start with a seed, right? You have to start
Yes.
with an
Yes.
idea. And what he started doing was he would text me like on Zillow, these houses upstate, and you like this one, how about that one, this or that. And
Mm.
we would go upstate for the weekend, and we had a realtor. And for us, I think we really manifested this house.
Wow.
We
Wow.
manifested this house.
I
Um,
love that.
because we just started to believe that
Mm-hmm.
it could happen. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what? It did
It
happen. It
did.
wasn't
Yeah.
easy. It was not easy,
Wow.
getting the financing, this or that, but we did it. And I just remember Lawrence telling me that he was going to turn this house into the most beautiful house for us. And he 100% did that. And we
Wow.
turned it
I would
into
love to take a tour, but
yes, you most certainly
yes,
can.
I would
You
love
most,
to take a tour.
according to Dr. LaPera, your trauma bonds start from childhood. Okay, whoever your caregivers are or were, your parents, and how they interacted with you, they were your first examples of how to love, um, how to be cared for, and sometimes the way your parents or your caregivers cared for you, um, it could have produced trauma for you, right? But it becomes ingrained in you, right? So that as you grow and you develop and you become an adult, the way you interact with people, the way you think about yourself, the decisions you make, all start from those trauma bonds from when you were a very small child, when the foundation of your life was set down. So, I mean, that's a very rudimentary uh, definition, but that's basically what it
Right. Yeah.
is.
So
Yeah.
I teach. I told you I teach early childhood, and so
Yes.
in
Yes.
several of my classes this semester we've talked about trauma informed care
Oh,
and
yes.
about adverse childhood experiences,
Yep.
ACEs, which sounds a
Mhm.
lot like what she's talking about. It's a different
Absolutely.
terminology. But I
Yeah.
love the fact that it's the bonding part.
Yeah.
So that's what because usually we see those ACEs in a negative light, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which they
Mm-hmm.
are,
Mm-hmm.
but the trauma bonding could be because of the way you were treated, even though you still have a bond with that person.
Yeah.
It's negative. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
It
I definitely
is.
have to get that book. Yeah, that's fascinating. I
Yeah. And
really
and
love
you know, even though my school's elementary school, we went from pre-K to grade 5, and I was in charge of the entire school, but specifically early childhood. That's also my specialty in terms of teaching kids how to read and write and
it.
doing things sort of developmentally appropriate.
Yes,
And,
yes,
like in kindergarten, first and second grade, um, well, especially kindergarten and first grade, I sort of had to train my teachers to not give the children homework that is rudimentary, you know, they're too little. I never wanted to see my little ones writing in a composition notebook. Let them learn through exploration. Let them learn through play. Um, Well, you know all about that. So
My
we
God, I
can
love you
we can
because
share
that
so many things.
yes, that is the thing that I tell my students all the time. Please don't do that to these kids. As a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about developmentally appropriate practices, what it
Yes.
looks like, what it does not look like,
Hmm.
okay? So that they would
Hmm.
know. And they were like, oh my God, we do this. I know you do this in your class. That's why we're talking.
Right, right. And
Stop it.
differentiating your instruction according to the needs. I'll never forget, I went in to observe a teacher, and it was a kindergarten teacher, and she had everybody sitting on the carpet, in front of her, and she had a book. The book was about, I guess, this size. Okay. Anyway, and the lesson was sound of the letter J. And I knew for a fact, even though it was kindergarten, I had about 6 kids that already knew how to read. What are you doing? So we definitely had a meeting, and I had to do professional development for her, for her to understand you cannot teach to the middle. You can't teach the same thing to everybody. You have to teach to individual needs, group instruction. So I know you know all about that. So not to veer from our talk.
Right, but that, like I said, that's my second love. So, I
Yes.
get it. And I get on this soapbox with my students all the time, and I have to catch myself and say, okay, I'm getting down off the soapbox now. But this is important. It's important that you understand this. If you don't understand anything else, understand that you have to individualize for children. You can't
Do.
put everybody together, think that everybody's going to understand the same thing at the same time. That's not how life works. We all human beings. We all are different.
That's right. That's why kids start acting up, and then you wonder why. Oh, he's not behaving. Well, you're not engaging them. And then calling me to come rescue. But anyway, I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Thank
So,
God. Hold on one second, okay?
yeah. Saturday for you, right?
Oh my God. Oh my. Anyway.
That's okay. Do you want to do a quick tour of my
Yeah,
house?
let's do that. Let's
Okay. All right. So this is
because now I've been to upstate New York. My daughter used to go to college at St. John's
okay.
University in New York. She went there. Then she went up to some little place outside of Buffalo. I can't think of the name of the place. And she worked at the college there. She was the coach for basketball
Okay. I'm not that far upstate. I'm like 2.5 hours from Manhattan,
from
from
the
the
city.
city.
Okay, okay, okay. I
Yes.
think she was maybe 4 or 5, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She was deep upstate.
Ooh, how
So
beautiful.
so this is our backyard. You see the woods
Wow,
in the back.
Coley, that is absolutely stunning.
These are our woods. Very different from Brooklyn. And
Oh, wow.
what my husband wanted to do, he wanted to make sure that we had all the things that we liked in terms of wellness. So this is our hot tub.
Oh, now, when I book you as an Airbnb, do I get to use all of that?
100%.
I'm gonna book you as an Airbnb. You give me your information. Oh my
I
God, I
will.
love that.
I will. So this is the deck we just had this put in about a year ago. And these are the remnants. Lawrence is an avid gardener. And so these are his tomato plants, but they're it's getting cold up here now. And so this whole part is part of our property. You see the rocks, the boulders.
Yes,
This is our deck, and that's our clean room inside there. I don't know if you could
uh-huh.
see it. I'm not sure if you can see
Beautiful.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, so um this is what happened. We were renting it out on Airbnb, and it was quite lucrative, and people gave us great reviews, all of that, and saying how it was such a lovely place to make memories with their family, et
Yes.
cetera, et cetera. And then my husband said, you know what, Nicole? It's nice that people are making memories in our house. He said, but I think it's time for us to make memories
I know
of
that's right.
ourselves. So he said, so let's move upstate. So we put our house in Brooklyn up for sale. So where I am now, this is our kitchen,
Beautiful.
right? That's the kitchen.
Yes. That's gorgeous.
I don't know. I'm just walking through quickly so you
Uh-huh,
can just
uh-huh.
kind of see. This
That's
is
beautiful.
you have a little laundry area. We didn't have a nice laundry area like this in Brooklyn, that's for sure. This is the office where,
Nice.
um let's see. This is the dining room.
Oh, this is beautiful, Nicole. I love the plants. I love that. Oh my God, that is stunning. You guys did a fab, and your husband did all of that work?
Well, this he painted, he redid the wood floors. I did the interior design, and this was all during COVID. So it's not like I could
Wow,
go
that was
to the
perfect,
store.
wasn't
I
it?
had to buy everything
Hmm.
online. This is
Wow.
the entryway. We have 18-foot ceilings here.
Nice.
And this is the living room. I call it the music room. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can see. Um,
Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
yeah, the
And the
keyboard.
spacious. It's so spacious
Yes,
too. I love that.
yes, it's very
Mm.
spacious. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the great room in
Oh,
here,
nice.
the fireplace, and
Nice.
um,
You can do cozy nights. I love
yes,
it. Yeah.
definitely. And this is the screen room so that in the summertime, I don't know, mosquitoes love me. They don't
Right,
seem to
me
bother
too.
my husband, but so I can come out here and still be outside
Mm-hmm.
and like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, so we've been here since December, right? And so what we've decided to do, my husband, he's a photographer.
Uh-huh.
He's like he does so many things. He's a photographer. He this you see all the structures out here,
Mm-hmm.
like the fence,
Right,
the
the
pergola.
banisters and all that.
He
Yes.
built that with his own two hands
Wow.
by himself. By himself. So I'm
Wow.
going to show you the front of the house. His garden um, is phenomenal. I mean, now it's November, so the flowers are gone, of course. But um, this is the front porch.
Pretty beautiful. Wow.
So
And
he's
I
made,
love the stone front. That is
yeah.
beautiful.
So this is the front part of the property. I don't
Mm.
know how far but you see the white picket fence. He built that. That
Mm-hmm.
did not come with the house. You
Mm-hmm.
see over here, like that little deck. He built that. He's
Yes,
very, very
nice.
handy,
Yes, he is.
extremely.
Wow.
I'm going to show you. Um,
Oh, they
like
got the
they're
truck
dying
started.
now
Praise
because it's
God.
cold.
Mm.
Okay, good. These are rose bushes. Some of them are trying to make a fourth iteration for the season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is the front of the house. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh,
Can you
yeah, I
see my?
see. I see. Ooh, beautiful.
Okay,
Yeah, that is beautiful. Oh my God.
you
Now,
see
do
the
you Airbnb some of it?
So we have an Airbnb since we moved here, but what we want to do is this. Um, he has created a studio space because like it's just the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
My son, like he's coming for Christmas. He
Mm-hmm.
comes in the summer. Like I said, we have family and friends that come over, but for the most part, it's just the two of us. So what we want to do is we want to also make it like a space for artists, photographers, and we also
Mm-hmm.
want to make it a wellness space. So I'm
Mm.
coming back inside.
I love that.
So
Now, I
when
have
we
a
rent it out,
mhm.
we'll just stay at a hotel
Right.
or an
Okay.
inn or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So um this is his studio space. Wait, I have to turn on the light. One second.
I stayed at a space one time in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big house like that, and they had
Okay.
several different decks and all around the house. And
Yes.
I had the guest house.
Okay.
It was beautiful. Oh my God. It had this sunken bathtub. Oh, she didn't
Mm.
walk in the
I'm going to show
shower.
you
Like, and
upstairs.
I was here by myself. I'm like,
Right?
now, wait a minute,
Loving
what
it
is
all,
wrong with
right?
this picture? Right.
So this is the studio. It's actually our garage, but we have a
Ah,
3-car garage, and I keep
uh-huh,
my car
uh-huh,
outside.
uh-huh.
So this is what he created. He
Oh,
just put this
nice.
together like a couple of weeks ago,
Ah,
right? So you could, I don't know if you can see everything.
I can. Okay.
And so this room, if someone wanted to rent the space, oh, there's my husband. Lauren, say hi to
Lawrence.
Dr. Marsha.
Hi, Mr. Lawrence. How are you? I love your work.
Thank you very much. I've been bragging on you. Yeah,
Wow.
thank you.
Wow. I tell you.
You see the arbor right there? He made that.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very handy. So,
Well, I have a friend who's creating a space at her grandma's home in Virginia, and
okay.
she wants that kind of thing, decks and
Yes.
like
Little spaces for
coves,
people to
little,
relax.
yes, and a
Mhm.
wellness center. I'm like, I'm gonna have to tell her about you guys.
Yeah. So this is what, so let's say we have models, someone, a photographer
Hmm.
who wanted to come. So this would
Hmm.
be like the makeup area where
Okay,
they could,
nice.
relax and do their
Yes.
makeup and so forth. And then I'm going to show you upstairs.
In that space, there's an upstairs.
Yeah, the bedrooms.
Oh, you mean the house part? I thought you meant
No,
in
no,
that
no, no,
area. I'm
no.
like, wow.
No. So, okay. So here, right, this is also part of the wellness. This
Hmm.
is our exercise room.
Oh, nice. Look
That's
at
my
that.
Peloton. Lawrence has his Bowflex.
Ah,
And you could see everything.
I can. Beautiful.
Bicycle.
Yes. You guys have thought of everything. I love it.
Yeah. So, we figured, well, you know what? Let's see how we can make the house make
Hmm.
some money for us, right?
Yes.
When we're not using it.
Uh-huh.
We still have our house in Brooklyn.
Hmm.
So we can also always go to Brooklyn anytime we
Yep.
want. Um, okay, I'm going upstairs now, and this way you can see the 18-foot ceilings much better.
Mm-hmm.
And then some
Beautiful.
artwork. So this is the master. So
Oh, that's
it's quite a
huge.
large room. My,
Yes.
my my master bedroom in Brooklyn could probably fit in here twice.
Wow. Mm.
Mirror, had to have a mirror
Yes, you do.
for cooling.
I've
Are you
gone into
there?
Airbnbs where they have no mirror. I'm like, when you rent to a woman, you have to make sure there's a mirror. Come on.
Up for me a couple of weeks ago. I
Nice.
love that mirror.
Yes, very nice. Very nice.
And this is the master bath.
Oh,
We
wow.
have the jacuzzi
Beautiful.
tub in here.
Yes. Gorgeous. Talk about a
Shower.
wellness space. Oh my God.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And just our
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is a 4-bedroom house.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, that was the master. And those are just my closets and
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence's closet.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Very nicely done. I love the artwork too.
this is another bedroom. This is the
Beautiful.
room actually that my mother slept in when she was,
Okay.
or when she comes, because it's
Mm-hmm.
next is close to my room, so I could see when she turns the light on in the middle of the night, getting up, and I
Right.
can help her.
Mm-hmm.
This is, we call it the bunk bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So you have kids, they want to
Right.
hang out in here. You got Biggie over there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the 4th bedroom. It's a little messy. My husband was in here the other day watching TV. He wanted to watch the news. I wanted to watch a movie. So it's
Right.
nice so that he can have another space. Clearly he didn't make up the bed, but
Right.
that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, all the work he does, he deserves a little break. Okay. He
Yes,
deserves a break.
100%. That's my guy.
Mhm, mhm. That is so
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's what we're just starting.
Mhm,
He's the creator. I'm not saying
mhm,
that I'm not creative, but he has the knowledge and you know, with carpentry, how to put
mhm.
stuff together.
Nice.
He's the kind of husband I'm so lucky that if I say such and such needs to be repaired or this or that is done.
He's on it.
I don't have to be behind him
Yeah. Oh my God. You don't have to give
about it.
the honey-do list. He is on it. I love
Yes.
that. Congratulations, because that's like that deserves an award right there.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. That mirror came on a Wednesday. By Friday, it was up.
Wow. I would have had to tell my husband twice and then beg him and then say, okay, now the next time you want me to cook so and so for you, then I'm gonna think about that. Right?
Well, like I said, he's my
Threaten him and
boyfriend.
everything. Right.
He's my boyfriend now. So
So he does whatever you want him to do.
that's right.
I love it.
Let me stop being fresh.
Talking about taking it back to 2.0. Okay.
Yes. Oh, but it's
I
so
love
nice
it.
to laugh and to share, and it's just it's this is a nice conversation.
Yes, yes. And I know you said I've never been on a podcast. Everybody says that. I've never been on a podcast. I said, girl, it's like girl talk. We just talking, having
Yes.
fun,
I
laughing, giggling.
actually was thinking
Hmm.
about doing a podcast. I was telling Lawrence, I said to him, he and I can do a podcast. There's so many things, empty
Mm. Hmm.
nesting,
Yes.
real estate. We own properties in Brooklyn.
Mm.
Um,
Yes, because
like
people
what we're
need to
talking
know
about,
how to do that. People need
child
to know.
rearing. Like I feel like my
Yes.
son, he's a black young man, and I always say we were blessed. He listens to us. He doesn't get, I'm not saying he's perfect or he never had his rebellious
Hmm.
time, but um, for the most part, I'm just really proud of him. We're
Hmm.
just he's such a nice young man, and he's making his way in
Hmm.
LA by himself. He's an only child. I mean, my husband has his older kids, but they live in Guyana, so he doesn't really get to see them often.
Hmm.
But just really pouring, like you said, busy pouring the love and the support into
Hmm.
our children so that when they become adults they can be responsible
Hmm.
um adults that can take care of themselves.
Yes, yes, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, we help him,
Yeah,
and he also knows that no matter what happens he can always come
of
back
course.
home.
Yes, yes,
Always.
definitely. The door is always open. I hope you don't have to
Yes.
use it, but the door is always open,
Yes.
right? I'm just keeping it real. I hope you don't have to use it, but just know that the door is always,
Right,
I have to
we'll
put up
be
with
here.
crazy, okay? If you don't want to. That's
Exactly.
fine.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I actually, I don't know how did we even find you?
Yeah, how
Because
did you
we
find me?
I don't
You saw
know.
my page?
Maybe so. We go out, we go out. We look for people, grandmas, of course,
Hmm.
and we search, on Instagram, Facebook, that sort of thing,
Hmm.
just to connect with people, and then we extend an invitation, and then sometimes people seek us out, right?
Okay.
So it kind of goes both ways. And
Yes.
so, and then I've even had some people to say, yeah, if you want to be on our show, we call it charges, we charge you. Hey, what? No, wait a minute. I'm not doing part. I'm not doing that part. My platform is really just to give grandmas your typical everyday people, not necessarily celebrities. Now, if a celebrity want to come on, yes, of course, I would say,
Of
who
course.
am I to
Hmm.
say no, Beyonce's mom, you cannot come on my show. Really? Come
Right.
on now.
Why
I'm not
would you?
crazy. Right? Of course, Tina knows you can come on this show.
Yes. Yes.
But again, I'm just looking for everyday folks because they're the folks that don't have a lot of voice out here. People don't know what we're doing. But yet we still have a lot to offer.
Yeah. Yeah. When I think about my grandma, like, for instance, I was very close to my Nana and she passed away in 2002, the year my son was born.
Mm.
And she was just such a bright light, like a mentor to me, and a really good cook. And again, I have the luxury of being intentional about the decisions I make. And I
Mhm.
decided that this week was going to be an ode to my nana. And so I made collard greens with
Oh,
smoked turkey wings. I made potato salad. I
wow.
made red beans soup. I made roasted pork chops.
Ooh.
And just, yesterday I was sitting at the table, me and my husband eating, and I felt like I just felt her around me, because those are the
Mm.
recipes, the things that she
Mhm.
would cook that were my favorite. Except now I probably do a more healthier version, not
Right, right, right,
using
right.
the ham hock and all like that,
Right.
but it
Yeah,
was still
we don't do ham
delicious.
hocks anymore.
Right.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
You know,
beautiful. But grandmas are so special.
yeah.
I have these interns that are working with me, they're students.
Hmm.
And, I put them through like this first week of onboarding and, just learning about Grandma's 2.0, what it's all about, because I wanted to give them kind of, instead of just jumping them into something to do, I wanted to give them some background.
Of
And
course.
then I always like to ask, so what kind of relationship do you have with your own grandma? Tell me about your grandma.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
And you can always tell when somebody talks about their grandma, their eyes light up
Yeah.
automatically for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I've
Yeah.
never heard anyone say, oh, I couldn't stand my grandma. Never heard anybody say that on this
Yeah.
podcast. Right.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful thing, the place that a grandma holds in everyone's heart. And I
Yes.
always like to say, like, there's one little boy who was an intern. He said, and I asked him, I said, so tell me about your grandma. He said, oh, well, I have four grandmas. I said, how'd you get four grandmas? Right. So he said, well, my mom and my dad, and then my mom and dad both got remarried again, or somebody
Okay.
got remarried. So I said, wow. So they got extra.
He's
Wow,
lucky.
you're a lucky child, because guess what? Where some people only have two, you got like four. You're
Yeah.
lucky. That means quadruple the presents, right?
Yes. Quadruple the love.
Exactly. So he was like, yeah, I feel really lucky. And
Yeah.
so we're going to make a documentary about grandmas.
Mm.
And we're going to use some of the content from the podcast and the other things that I do to make that. Because again, it's
Nice.
all about grandmas. Yes.
Wow, that is so, so cool. It's funny. My son, he actually graduated with a degree in cinematography. And, an
Oh,
ode to his dad, his father would take him out with him sometimes, and he's also an avid photographer. And so he's decided, and I've always told him, um, do what you love. Make
yes.
money doing what
What
you
you
love,
love.
what you're
Yes.
passionate about.
Yes.
And so that's what he's doing. I mean, it's a little hard, a little rough, but mom and dad are here to, to
Yes.
help out a
Yes.
little bit, but he's doing his thing. And
Good.
I'm just so, again, just proud of him.
Yeah, and I love that because that's what I told the interns. I said I got a lot of different things that I want you guys to do, so I'm going to give you a choice.
Hmm.
Because we believe in choices in early
Yes.
childhood, right?
Yes.
I said,
Yes.
and I want you to pick the thing that resonates with you. I don't want you to pick something you think, well, she wants to have this one first or whatever. No, it's not about
Right.
that. I want you to find something in that group of what
Hmm.
you really want to do, and I want you to tell me, because I figure if
Hmm.
you do it that way, then you will really do a good job, or you'll put your heart into it. You'll give it your all, versus me
Yes.
saying, well, I want you to do this, and it needs to be done by this date.
Exactly. Yep.
That's not, yeah. Because I said I don't like to work that way, and I don't like for other people to work that way.
Hmm.
I don't want to treat people that way. So
You
it's
want
so
them to
important
own
that you
it.
love it. Yes, yes, yes. And so I gave them this little exercise to do, and I told them they could do it any kind of way they want. I said, I want you to define. I want to do a campaign where we're defining what a 2.0 grandma is. And I said, and I want us to define it, and then I want everybody else, people, we want to put it out and see what other people say.
Hmm.
Do you know these students came up with some phenomenal stuff?
I know they did.
Multimedia presentations. One
Wow.
little girl had this grandma as a superhero. I said, I love that.
Because we are. We are superheroes.
Exactly.
Where's my cape?
Exactly. Exactly. She was on the mountaintop. I was like, wow, I absolutely adore that. So it was just so beautiful the things that they came up with on their own,
Yeah.
right? With me just giving them a little bit of what I like and giving them some
Yeah, a little
content. And I said, you
guidance.
mix it
Yeah.
up. Yeah. Figure it out for yourself because and you guys are the experts in this kind of stuff. I am not.
Yeah.
So I want you to use your expertise. And I
Yeah.
love to ask students this. These are all high school students, by the way. I would
Hmm.
love to ask them,
Hmm.
so what expertise do you bring to the table? Because a lot of
Yeah.
times children don't
Because
know
they all have.
that, right? But they don't know that they have expertise or they don't see it that way. Nobody
Yeah.
ever calls it that,
Yeah.
And so I remember the first group I had, and they said, they had a hard time answering that question. I said, what are you
Mhm.
good at? I had to break it down, keep
Yeah.
asking
Yeah.
ways. I said, so what are you good at? What will you bring to the table for Grandma's 2.0? And they had to think about it. And I said, look, I want you to say this and I want you to say it with conviction. Moving forward, when somebody asks you, what do you bring to the table? What are your area of expertise? I want you to say, my name is so and so and so, and I am gifted in audiovisual editing. I am gifted in social media, whatever. I am gifted in multimedia presentation, whatever the job,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you like and you excel in, that's what your gift is. And then I
Yeah.
told him about Howard Gardner and his multiple intelligences theory.
Yes.
Right? He
Yes.
brought all that in. So I still use it as a teachable moment, and I
Hmm.
want them to know that this is something that they can be proud of because our children don't get enough of that.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Right. It's so unfortunate. And I want them to be proud of who they are.
Yeah.
And I said, and I want you to repeat it. It's just like that thing. I love myself. I love myself. Girl, I love you
Yes.
today. That's what
Yes.
it
Yeah.
is.
I
Yeah.
tell my son sometimes he'll call me and he'll say, oh, I didn't have such a good day today, whatever happened at work or whatever. And I'll tell him, I said, listen, Jordan, find one thing that was good today. You can find one thing and celebrate that. Try to
Yes.
celebrate. I don't care if it's minute.
Mm.
You got up today. You
Mm-hmm.
opened your eyes. You were able to move and walk and eat and do all those things. Celebrate something for yourself every day. I have to, I remind him of that because it's so important.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's important that you know that for yourself so that you can move on to the next day.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
it's so sad, but a lot of our kids, especially kids that look like us,
yeah,
don't hear that enough. They don't realize that enough because no
yeah.
one says it to them,
Yep.
right? And so, or they don't say it enough, and so they forget how valuable they are, how beautiful.
And they can say it to themselves because
Mm-hmm.
one of the things my grandmother would always tell me, and I didn't understand it when I was younger, but I understand it now. She would say, you can't change others.
Right.
Don't even try. But what you
Yes.
can do is you can change yourself
Mm-hmm.
to accept or not to accept.
Mm.
You have to accept people for who they are or
Yeah.
not,
Mm-hmm.
or not.
Right. Or not, because you don't have to. Right? You just have to stop.
But don't waste your time trying to change people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
until the person sees for themselves that they want to
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I realized that with my husband early on. I tried to make him a
Yeah.
person that I thought would look right for me.
I
And then
think
he
we've all
tried to
done that.
right, and he tried to do the same thing for me, and it didn't work. Okay. It didn't. So now we're like, okay, you do you, boo, and I'm gonna do me. Okay.
Yes.
That's how we gonna do this. Okay.
Yes, you accept the person for who they are.
Exactly. It's like,
Their
now that's not.
flaws, because we all have them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Nobody is perfect,
Mm-hmm.
and we just look at the beauty of who we are and
And we
stuff.
all have that. Yes, 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 yes. Well, tell me your Instagram, Facebook, those so people will know how to get in touch with you. And
Sure.
and when are you launching the creative space?
So hopefully, hopefully within the next maybe. Well, the space is actually pretty much done. There's a few
Mhm.
things he has to tweak. He needs to do a little painting of the fence and so forth and so on. So maybe sometime between now and the end of the year, you
Okay.
know.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
you
Okay.
know.
So people are in upstate New York and they need a place to need a photography studio, need a creative space because people are doing
Yes.
all sorts of things these days.
Yes, there's space
I've been
for it to
just
do
wow.
yoga there. If people want to do like a paint and sip,
Mm.
whatever, we don't do parties and
Mm-hmm.
events like that. But if you want to come and you want to do a yoga class, or if you want to do photography, model photography, or print work, we have the space. And
Mm.
then if you also wanted to rent the house and do like a retreat,
Mm.
you can also do that too. We
Mm.
have, like I said, the hot tub. Well, you already saw the bedroom
Mm-hmm.
accommodations,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So
Nice.
we're open to all of that. And whenever someone wants to rent it out, we'll either go to our house in Brooklyn or we'll just stay at an
Mm-hmm.
inn, or there's lots of them up here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that's not a problem.
And tell us your social media tag so we can know how to get in touch with
Sure. For Facebook, it's Nakoley Renville,
you.
Nakoley. My first name, last name, Renville, Renville. And for Instagram, it's at Bluestone Glen Rock House.
Bluestone Glen Rock House. I love that.
Yes. Bluestone, like
Mm.
the granite. And I don't know, when I was showing you the outside, you saw those big boulders.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
those boulders, my husband said, actually probably came from the foundation when they
Mm.
were building the house. They
Mm-hmm.
had to blow out the bottom. And so those were the rocks that were left over. So when people want bluestone for their walkways or what have you, that's what this area is famous for.
Okay.
So I just decided to incorporate that
Okay.
into the name.
Okay. I would love to have you in my book. I do a book with grandma, so every grandma's story. So
Oh,
we do a Zoom when I do an interview with you on Zoom,
okay.
and we
Thank
there's
you. I feel so
questions.
honored.
Oh no, like I said, I want people to hear about what grandmas are doing in their chapter 2. Okay. That's
Yeah,
the story because what that does, it not only motivates other grandmas, but it motivates the younger generation
that's
too,
right. This
to
is what you
know
can
that,
have. You
yeah,
can,
this is where you could be. Just give it some time, do what you need to do up front. I'm gonna tell you this little story, and then I'm gonna let you go, I promise. Because I know we've been on here with all the breaks, we've probably been on here 2 hours. But my sister, who's 5 years younger than me, her friends, one day I went home back to North Carolina for a funeral of a friend.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so they were saying, "Girl, you don't look like you aged a bit." And I said, "Well, honey, while y'all were out there partying, I was at home taking care of my kids." Okay, just like right. I said, and so now it is my time to be out there and have a good time with my life.
That's right.
Okay. Do
That's
the
right.
things that you guys were doing
Travel.
early. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I
Yes.
said, so that's the difference. I said, and so, you have to know, and that's what I want the younger generation to know. Do what you need to do for your children first.
Yes.
Once you do that, you can feel good about taking time for yourself. You don't have to feel guilty
That's
because,
right.
like you said, but don't you feel? No, I don't feel guilty. I did my part. I was at PTA. I was on the PTA. I went to all kinds of events. I made sure I knew their teachers. Their teachers knew me. I
Yes.
worked. I went to school. I did all of that at the same time. It is my time to relax and do some things I want to.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Like I said, I paid my dues, right?
100%. Two snaps down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, but I think I have your phone number. Was your phone number in your paperwork?
I believe so. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I
Yeah,
can
would
also,
you give it to me? Because I'm going to put it on this, and then that
sure,
way I will have
sure.
it.
It's
Okay.
917
Okay.
692 1697.
917-692-1697. Okay.
Yes.
Great. And I'm gonna put that in and I have your email so that
Yes.
I can have one of the interns reach out to you to schedule the interview for the book.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Perfect,
Yes.
perfect, perfect.
Yes.
And I thank you so much. It was
Oh,
such
you're
a
more than
pleasure.
welcome. I enjoyed this afternoon. I was looking forward to it. Like I said, I've never been a guest on a podcast before, and I was a bit nervous about it, but you made the whole process so inviting and comfortable for me. And like you said, it was like talking to my girlfriend,
Right.
chatting
Exactly.
up and yeah,
Yeah. So
nice.
thank you. It was my pleasure. I enjoy doing what I'm doing, just reaching out to people, connecting with people. And in the process, I gained new friends too, in addition to
Yes, and who knows, you come up as our guest, just to hang out if you want, you and your husband, and we chill out or whatever. Up
that
here
would
in
be
the winter
nice.
time, it gets it's cold. You
Yes,
usually
yes,
but in
yes.
the spring and the summer is the best
Mhm.
time up
Yeah,
here.
I bet the spring is really beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
All right, honey pie. It was wonderful. I am going to let you
yes.
go. And again, thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate you
Mm,
so much. Take
yes, I
care.
appreciate
Bye.
you too. Bye-bye.
And we'll be in touch. We'll stay in touch, okay?
For sure.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
That was my guest, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Nakoley Renville was a wonderful, wonderful guest. I enjoyed it so much.
Introducing a remarkable book, a tapestry of stories from atypical grandmas whose lives are a treasure trove of wisdom and inspiration. Stories of inspiration, life lessons, and wisdom from grandmas by Dr. Marsha McLean. This extraordinary book is now available on www.grandmas2.0.com and on Amazon.